Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy, happy day. It's Wednesday, 12:25, right? Having my wonderful coffee with some honey in it. I got some honey for Christmas. Yay! My fingernail broke. My crochet hook ring thing. Did I tell you guys about that last night? Oh, I was in a way last night. It's like that whole integrating thing again, you know, and then I gotta get ready. Finding out what our boundaries are, maybe. Finding out where we have tolerated or where we have done things that don't sit quite right with us, and finding a balance of that. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be mad with people. I don't want any of that, you know. But it's finding that balance and learning to be where you're not fake per se, but you're cordial. And tolerate people. I think I mentioned that was the whole part of the video. But I mean, but it's more along the lines of ourselves, right? Because this is, you know, a journey of ourselves. And we have all these other characters along with us in these journeys. And how to maneuver when it's family members, right? When it's people maybe you live with, maybe you rent a room or whatever it is. And navigating through that and trying to be not a stepping stool, but peaceful still. Finding peace within yourself without having to be a douche, I guess, is basically what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? So it's a process. It's a 2, 3, 4. It's a learning process. It's, but, you know, I don't know, you guys. What about you? I know for me, where does my anger stem from? And I know my anger and stuff, it's got to stem more from myself. Because at the end of the day, who can we ever really be upset with, 303, other than ourselves? And then figuring out, well, why? It doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter what other people do to us, but at the end of the day, not really, if you think about it, because it's our choice to be around them for whatever reason. It doesn't matter why, whether you have to, whether it's family, whether you have no choice, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, having to navigate, having to be around people or whatever, I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, it's like, what can we do with ourselves that stays authentic and true to ourselves, but doesn't allow outside people to knock you off your rocker or out of your lane or something? You know what I mean? What am I trying to say? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Well, guys, did I say this? I haven't had a cigarette since Saturday. What's today? Wednesday? So it's been a couple days. Isn't that cool? I'm so happy. Well, Saturday I ran out of cigarettes when I was doing my volunteering. And I said, I guess I'm done then. So it is. Yeah, I still have my vape pen. Which, I gotta find something really cool and cute that's round that I could hold on to, right? That I could maybe put in my mouth, bite on or something. Because it's not really the nicotine I need. It's more of the doing that. Fidgeting, right? I guess I could always use this. I don't want candy. Cinnamon stick, yeah, that's a good idea. See, look. I love it! You know what, you guys? We've come this far and we have overcame so many things and we've worked so hard on being better people. And yeah, it is kind of working hard because we make a choice to be different. We make a choice how we're going to react, how we're going to, and sometimes it doesn't fare right. But you know, it comes up for a reason. It's what we do with it. When it comes up, do we look at these things and want to make a difference in ourselves or not? And this is what does it define us in a sense? How could it though? Because we're always changing, right? Being the best that you could be in any given situation. I guess the key to it is not to react, but take a moment and respond if need be. Or does it ever need to be? When things, it's just really another step into really just looking at ourselves and our situations and what part do we play in it. We already know other people play from their part, from their perspective, from what they do. But there's our part, our perspective, what we do. You know what I mean? So, I love you guys, and may you have the best day ever. And if feelings come up, my best advice, what I work on, is when feelings come up to feel them and let them go. But change them, you know. I let it go. But if we look at it and go, I shouldn't be feeling like with me. Like I was talking, I think, about last night. Did I even upload that video? I wonder if I did. I might have. Anyway. And going, you know, taking a good look at ourselves and just going, wait a minute. What is, I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. Really just being, I just heard on our game. I'm going to figure out how to maneuver. I mean, how do you maneuver? How do you speak to somebody who's so, I'll figure it out. I guess I'm having the trouble with killing them with kindness. How they say that, you know, because that's what I've done, and evidently it blew my mind. But you know, it's a whole thing, and I'll figure it out because I want to, because I'm making forth the effort, because I want to be different. I want to be changed. I've been on this journey. And, you know, and I feel like we kind of have more responsibility because we can see things that other people can't. Aren't we then? I feel like I'm held more accountable for myself. Because remember I was saying last night, because I know better? We're held more accountable because we know better. Once we're aware and we're awakened to certain things about ourselves, about other people, or whatever. At the end of the day, it's just about ourselves. You know? Was I offended? I don't even know if I was hurt. I guess when it comes... Well, anger is hurt feelings, isn't it? There's so many things. the fakeness of people. But is it fake? Then I could be called fake. Because I'm nice and cordial to people. I know how they are. And, you know, there's some people you could talk to and stuff, and you don't really trust them. You wouldn't tell them really anything, or you don't really trust, you know who they, let's just say it like this, you know who they are. Should we still talk to them? Lest being fake? If it feels fake. But I don't really believe that we should run around being dicks to each other either. You know? I guess it's just the nicest, you know, the niceties. Oh, do I keep saying that? It's so funny. Yeah, I did. That's what I put. Niceties, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm figuring it out. And I can get on here and say one thing or act a certain way and sit and cuss people out and call them a bunch of names. But at the end of the day, later on, I'm like, oh, man, I shouldn't have said all that. Why would I say all that? But then why would I feel bad about it? Because it's out of character for me. And then when we do things out of character for ourselves, even if it's in a moment, right? A moment, 11:44, a moment of being pissed, being triggered, or whatever. Acting and saying things that we will regret later. So maybe not getting to the point where there is a regret. You know? Can't change things that are said. Best not to say them, especially out of anger, because those are hurtful words, whether you mean them or not. And generally we mean them because we just don't want to say them normally, but when we get pissed, we'll say them. So there's a look at that. True feelings, right? I don't want to say I love you to anybody anymore, really. Jaded much? But at the end of the day, if we are around people that we pour love into, actual love, not because trying to look a certain way or get people to like you or whatever, just how we are, just in our nature. That's why being a soul and coming into a human body with the humanistic things, it's foreign to its nature. And that's something to overcome. Human emotions are... They want us to be like humans, act like humans, so we can be around humans, but not to get stuck in the human. Losing ourselves to human. If you guys have been watching me, you know what I mean by human, right? Human body, the mind, the feelings, the emotions. Does the soul really have emotions? Not like from a humanistic point of view, because I guess the soul knows. It knows. It's part of the one. It's part of the formless, which is form. Anything outside of our own observation, is it even there? No, it just sits still until it's observed. Why can I look at my neighbor's car and go, I see that car? I didn't create that, but the other humans walking around created that. The collective consciousness. So then we see that too. That's interesting. This world is a trip. Even I must not believe that everything, I believe it, I know it, but until shit happens and we're running for our lives and we have no water and we have no electricity and for whatever happens, right? Natural disasters or whatever it could be. We know it's coming, but, and it's like what my daughter was saying, you know, about something. And I was trying to pipe in and say something back, but it wasn't coming out right, but whatever. You know, it was like me being scared straight off of drugs. Having a scare. I don't want to die. So, done. Me being flat on my back with my back injury. Had I not gone through that, scared straight per se, right? Then I wouldn't have a different outlook on life. I wouldn't be grateful just to be. And it's hard to stay in that. Or is it? I mean, we could tell ourselves it's really hard, then it will be hard, right? It's a process. It's unlearning everything we've learned. The programming, right? Reprogramming. Grandkids, there's nothing we can do. They have their parents. You could try to give them advice, and they don't want it. So my thing is, I have to learn, don't give advice to these motherfuckers, because they're not going to do it anyway. They're actually going to do the opposite. So in me trying to assist and help ways to make my granddaughter's life better won't work, because the mother will do the opposite. She will absolutely never do anything. She would rather hurt her own child, in a sense. Not beat her or anything, but drag her out of the house or something, you know, rather than let her sit with her dad. Scream and yell at her, go to sleep, shut the fuck up, rather than get up and rock her like my son does, but she'd rather put my son down for it. See what I'm saying? There's no soul in that person, is there? Or there's so much darkness, so much anger, so much whatever. That's sad. That makes it sad, because that kind of person would rather hurt other people, because, you know, it hurts herself too, you know, rather than, hey, yeah, sure, I'll leave the baby with you so I can go take care of my mother's things. I'm using this as an example because I'm not around a lot of people, and any really at all. This is the only thing that I know. You guys know someone like that? Were you like that? I know I was like that, but it was more geared towards myself. Never thought of the other people. But if I was hurting myself and I'm a mother, didn't that hurt everyone around me? So yeah, I guess the trigger part is seeing aspects of myself, maybe not 100% identical, right? It's never going to be like that, but similarities. I was like that as a child. Was that a learned behavior? You tell me what to do, I'm not going to do it. You know, my mom said, she told me to clean up my room when I was a little girl. I refused to do it. She says, well, if you don't clean up your room, I'm going to throw all your toys away. She's like, next thing you know, Serena, what are you doing? She said, one by one, I picked up every fucking toy and threw it away and never looked back. As a little fucking kid. I'll show you. I'll throw all my toys away. That hurts me. So then in my adult life, that's how I did things. Learned behavior, right? Was it learned? It had to have been somehow. But that's just how I was. And so that from that emotional state, I lived all my life like that. When things would trigger me, we lived from these. Hence, the first trauma sets a tone for the rest of your life and how it's going to go and the things that occur. This is my belief. This is my life. This is what I've learned in my journey. But to use a child as a pawn to get back at somebody else is wrong. What about love for the child? That's what concerns me. Rather than the safety of your child leaving the house pissed off or whatever, cussing and screaming and, being physically abusive to their partner, verbally, mentally, emotionally, constantly, and then putting on another face to everyone else. Oh my God, he's so horrible. But a baby teething and not feeling well to go sit at a fucking house where, trying to pack stuff up rather than stay at home with the dad. No, she'd rather hurt the dad, but that hurts the baby. Baby don't feel good. Teething and stuff. Really? So the baby has to be around your anger all the time, and you're cussing and you're talking bad about the dad to everybody, even to the child? You shouldn't have children. Every mean thing she says to the father of that child is really her. It's really how she is. Don't we do that? Don't we do that? Why am I bringing this up? Because I am going to be doing a series on, a series. I don't know if it'll be a series, but at least a talk anyway. Once we get all this, the new year comes around and I get back in town and I'm done being everywhere or making just presents. I love crocheting though. If I could get paid to crochet, I would so do that. And shoot videos. But I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, then I'm done, I guess. Because I got to get ready, because now I'm crocheting, and this is fun. I love this thing. It holds tension so perfect. It just is a game changer. And it's a peacock. All right, I better take it off. All right, I love you guys. And, I'm not trying to pick on, I'm just using that as an example. Oh, yeah. Abuse. Abuse comes in all kinds of ways. And we already know women have been abused forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But, men are too. And I really want to bring the focus on for men and women, because some people are abused and they don't even know it, because people think of abuse as being physically 22-22. Oh, no, it was 22-33, but I saw 22-22, so there's that. People being physically, like getting punched in the face and da-da-da, that's abuse too, but most people view it like that. But there's other forms of abuse. And someone can tell you someone's like that, and you can be like, yeah, I get it, I know. But to be there and witness it when it's not even bad because they're on their best behavior because people are around, I literally said, I don't. Dad, you get it? I said, oh, yeah. And then some. My eyes were open. And I know, because I've lived those things. And now, I was that person and I was the abused person. You know what I mean? So, fuck. And it's sad because we have adult children that just relive the same situations that they saw their parents. That gets you right in the gut, doesn't it? There's nothing you can do. So, I'm not the same boy I'm not the same girl I used to be. Finding our place as we progress and get better. Finding our place. If any of you know anyone or suspect someone is an abused partner, I don't know. Or if you're one of those people and you think you might be in a situation that's abusive because they put you down, nothing's ever good enough. What they call gaslighting or whatever. I don't know. You know, reach out to your local, shelter, DV shelter, Dial 211. Because after a while, somebody who's talked down to like that, it breaks them. And that's what they want to do. And I found out a lot about this girl from her own mouth. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't just stay there just to destroy my son. Monster. So what can we do, those of us who like to help people, who want to give advice all the time, and these people don't want our advice? We have to learn to not give advice. But when you're the type of person, when your soul is a soul to what you've learned, you want to help others. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. I didn't. But would I have taken it? I mean, I had my mom. Till a child murdered her brutally. 15-year-old kid. Just because. Fuck that. If we all truly, really were awake and believed that the world as we know it, the world as we know it is ending, there's going to be another, I heard, repopulation, another cleansing, if you will, then we would all be doing the opposite of what we're doing right now. Would we not? But it goes back to that. I quit smoking because one, can't really afford it. Two, it's something it's a great idea. But I guess the point is, like, what I was wanting to pipe in when my daughter was talking to Nikki was not waiting till you get to the point that you can't breathe, or you have COPD, or you have emphysema, or, you know what I mean? Not getting to that where you're flat on your back to appreciate fucking life, period, being alive, Not even my dying and coming back fucking did anything for me. Not like other people it does, right? Changes their life, but I don't know, right? We all have our breaking moment, 28, our moment of whatever. So it's not having to wait for the catastrophe, for the worst case scenario to happen to really make a change, but it's kind of how they geared us, isn't it? It's kind of what they show us, And then the whole fact of lying to our children and watching all these people, like, my son was wrapping presents for his daughter and she was wrapping her own presents for her daughter, and I'm like, oh my God, aren't you guys like, okay, that's odd, but okay. But everyone's love language is different, right? If it's spending money and buying things, that tells you a lot about that person. I like to buy things for people too, but is that really love? Depends on the person, right? I don't even want to get into that. That was stupid. Scratch that out if I was editing and all that crap. No. Anyway, It's almost 1 o'clock, and I haven't even started to get ready yet. So I love you guys. I don't know when you'll hear from me again, but I will be going on vacation. I'm not bringing that many clothes. I think I'm just going to bring all my crocheting stuff. I'm just going to crochet my ass off. I love you guys. Going on vacay. So peace out, homies. And may you have the most blessed day ever.